Rollup Action, it's an action that we've added to the action library in Data Action Platform. And Data Action Platform, of course, is our tool that does a lot of things. It holds a lot of micro applications that you can utilize in data management, all done natively on the Salesforce servers without any data transfer. And the latest addition is the Rollup Action, and it allows you to aggregate data from indeed related records, like Nico already said. But we also added the option to aggregate data from lookup relationships, which opens up new possibilities in Salesforce. So if we compare it further to the Rollup summary field that Salesforce had, there are a couple limitations. Specifically also in the filter, in applying a filter, you can only use an AND operator, where the action that we've built allows you to set more advanced filters to your query logic. Besides that, we've added a couple of rollup types. We are able to do a count distinct. We are able to do a concatenate, which opens up a nice use case here and there, contrary to the Salesforce rollup summary fields. But the best thing, I think, is that we are able to batch these rollups, and we can store data that we aggregate using the rollup actions in the database, so that we have actionable data, so we can do a follow-up actions based on what we aggregate. If we go to the next slide, there is a use case that I would like to show you. As an account manager, I'd like to get assigned a new task if one of my accounts opened up more than 3 cases last week. And this is something that we can do with Rollup in combination with Data Action Platform. By the way, if there are questions, I see a question from Bethany coming in. Thank you for that. Feel free to ask your questions. We'd be happy to answer them. We have a Q&A at the end, but if we can do, if I can answer them on the spot, I'd be happy to do so as well. And Bethany asked, what is the difference between count, distinct, and count? Well, the difference between that is that count is able to count records, so it's as simple as that. And count distinct is able to count unique values from a certain field that you select. And I'm going to show you an example for that in a second. So I'm back in Salesforce, and remember, I'm going to set up Data Action Platform to automatically generate a task if an account opened up more than 3 cases in 1 week, because something might be up there, there might be some difficulties, who knows what, so the account manager should reach out to see if everything is still okay. I'm going to do that from the DAP job page, and I'm going to open up a scheduled job by clicking the new job button. And I'm going to roll up cases for accounts. And then again, the case to account relationship is a lookup relationship, so this wouldn't be possible with the out-of-the-box functionality in Salesforce. I'm going to pick the account object, and I'm not going to apply a filter to the accounts, because I want to roll up cases for all the accounts in my database to see if someone opened up more than three or more than 3 cases in the last week. So I'm going to do that on the schedule, and I'm going to do that on a Friday afternoon, because at that point I'm going to figure out the number of cases that were opened in the previous week or in this week. So I'm going to start that process at 2. Then we will get to the action launcher, and as you can see, the toolbox from Data Action Platform is getting pretty extensive. We can do a number of things now, which we're really proud of. And one of the new things that we can do is rolling up information. So I'm going to pick the rollup action. And then I'll get to the rollup interface, in which I can configure what I want to aggregate in the case object. But first I have to decide where I would like to aggregate. So I'm going to look up the case object. And then again, we can aggregate information from any related records in a master detail context or in a lookup relationship context. I do not want to aggregate all cases, so I'm going to add a filter. And I'm going to add a filter on created date. And then I'm going to use a date literal, and the date literal equals this week. So I'm only going to count the cases that are created this week. The field that I want to aggregate in this case is the case number, and I want to count the number of unique cases that were opened this week. And I can now decide where I want to store this number. And for that, I have created a dedicated custom field where I want to store this information, which now gets updated on a weekly schedule, because I've set this to be a scheduled job that runs every Friday, at 2. Clicking next, I will get a summary of what I'm about to schedule, and I'm gonna schedule it. So this will now run every day at 2, but I can also decide to run it now with the Run Once Now button. So let's do that. You can see that the new job is added to my job overview, and I'm ready to go. So now I have stored for all my accounts for this week a number of cases that were opened. And as a next step, I would like to create a task, and assign it to the account owner to let the account owner know that a high volume of cases was detected. So I'm going to do that with another scheduled job. Create a task if 3 or more than 3 cases this week. And I'm going to select the account object again. And this time I do want to add a filter, because I only want to take into account the number of cases opened in the last 7 days is greater to or equals to 3. I'm going to add a schedule, and I want to run this an hour later, because then I've got all my aggregated data stored in the relevant records. So I'm going to start this at 3. Clicking next, I can click the Create Tasks action, which is in our action library, and I can set up my task. So the status is going to be not started. Subject is high volume of cases detected. The due date is a day after task creation. The priority is going to be high. And here I can write a comment while using field variables. So I'm going to address the owner of this record by their first name. Hi, first name. Please reach out to, and I'm going to use a variable for the account name because a high volume of cases was detected, and then I'm gonna put in the variable for the number of cases opened in the last 7 days. So I'm okay with this for now. Going to click next, and I'm going to schedule this as well. So this is always the scary part. Let's see if it works. I'm going to run it because I already ran the Rollup cases for accounts job, and I know that I have an account standing by. It's going to be Long Beach Medical Center, which has more than 3 cases linked to it. So if I go to the task object, then a task should be created. High volume of cases detected. Hi, Ruben, please reach out to Long Beach Medical Center because a high volume of cases was detected, and the number is 3. Just a simple example of how we can automate a business process based on aggregating data across relationships that are not familiar to Salesforce in the context of aggregating data or doing a roll-up via Rollup summary fields. And like this, we have so many use cases which we can execute here. If you're interested about that, feel free to visit our website because we can give you some more insights into that.